Hi everyone, my name is Roberta and welcome to the 5 Minutes or Less How-To series, where I share tips and tricks with you on arts and crafts in less than 5 minutes. Raise your hand if you have back to school fever. Well, I do, and love making these back to school materials using the glowforge. So today, I'm going to share with you how to make a first and last day school sign that's interchangeable, reusable, and can be given to little ones to add their own flavor with chalk. Are you ready? This is a fun project, but it does have multiple steps to it. Here are the materials and files I used to create this item. I'm adding all of the links to all materials and files below. So let's get started. First step was for me to sublimate my tissue paper. I got a blank tissue paper set from the Dollar Tree store and printed the back to school watercolor print using my Sublimation printer and paper. I used my Easy Press heat mat, added a layer of cardstock, a layer of the tissue paper, then the Sublimation paper, and the butcher's paper. I then used my Easy Press 2 at 380 for 60 seconds and ironed it away. And yes, you're seeing this right. I am reusing my Sublimation print at least twice because the color usually holds it pretty well, but see if that works for you too. Once my tissue paper was ready, it was time to prep my round. To allow the images to pop up, I needed to paint my round with a very bright color, so I chose white. For this project, I decided to use Unicorn Spit Gel Stain. I have to make a video on Unicorn Spit Gel Stain. They're like the best finger painting activity for adults. They smell great, they're not toxic, and they give a really nice look to the wood. So, once I applied the gel spit and let it dry for about an hour, I added 2 layers of Mod Podge. I used the glossy kind of Mod Podge, the one with the red label. And did you know that that same Mod Podge is sold at the Dollar Tree store for just $1? Little version. Sounds like some fun summer projects. So, after the 2 layers of Mod Podge, you want to add your tissue paper with the brightest color up. So you're going to see a bunch of wrinkles, but do not worry because you're going to iron them out and it's going to look super smooth. Using the Easy Press 2, I turned up the heat to 380 and used a layer of butcher's papers in between the tissue paper and the iron and just ironed it away and kept checking to see when all my wrinkles were gone. Once I was happy with the final look, I stopped ironing it. And this is where the type of paint that you use comes in. If you are using the heat press Mod Podge technique, some paints will melt with the heat. So make sure you choose a paint that will not do that. The gel spit or the chalk paint are really good choices. Once the round was dry, I did not show this in the video because I'm uber paranoid. I added another layer of Mod Podge to use as my sealing layer, and I ironed it one more time to remove any new wrinkles. And that's it. It looked perfect. So, in order to remove the rest of the tissue paper, the extra stuff, I used a sanding brush and just essentially used this technique that I'm showing on the screen to remove all the extra materials. The final product looked like I watercolored the wood. It was beautiful. So now that my round is done, the next step was cutting and engraving the rectangle sign with the first and last day notes. And then I painted that whole thing with chalkboard paint, again from the Dollar Tree. And once that was dried, I used a silver Sharpie over the engraved words so that those would not come off when I washed the chalkboard away. Now the fun part. Obviously, I had cut the crayons using my glowforge. I painted the crayons the colors that I wanted, and then I made these 2 pieces of wood that I essentially glued onto the crayons that I could use as sliders. And you can see there's a little gap between the crayon and the piece of wood, and there's an overhang so that the chalkboard can slide in and out. And that's it. Essentially, you now have yourself an awesome back to school sign that's super versatile, and I think it makes those first and last day school pictures uber memorable. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more videos and maybe free files. Thank you.